Okay, a lot of people have been asking me about some of my techniques with the electric bass guitar. They see some flamenco-like techniques. So I am going to demonstrate on a flamenco guitar some of the techniques I use on the electric bass, and later on I will have another video where I actually use the electric bass. Now, I am not strictly a flamenco guitar player. I play mostly mandolin, acoustic steel string guitar, electric guitar, and of course electric bass. But I'm going to demonstrate on this. These are some techniques that are used in flamenco that I use on the electric bass, some of which is just flash, some of which is useful. One of them is the strumming, or the strumming technique, which you can use while a drummer is doing his thing. You can use your bass as a rhythm instrument like this. Keep the wrist very loose. You're lightly brushing the strings with your fingertips. I have fingernails. So it's a percussion instrument. That's kind of a thing they use on the strings, you know. Actually, it's adding a whole other rhythm instrument to the rhythm section if you want. Of course, that's done on the bass. Again, keep the hand very, very loose. In flamenco, it sounds like they're playing really hard. They're not playing hard at all. It's the character of the short sustain of the guitar, the nylon strings, very percussive sounding, but keep the hand loose, no matter what you do. You have the rasgueados. This is something I use on the bass a lot, and you can use the first two fingers like this. You're alternating, and you can use that as a tremolo technique too. First two fingers, index and middle, like this. First and third. Again, keep the hands very, very loose. You're scratching. You're not digging in. You never dig in. You scratch. Like this. Last two fingers. Middle and ring. Middle and ring. It's a good exercise anyway. All the fingers. So when I play chords on the bass, I will use this, these rasgueado techniques. Continuous, first and third, middle and ring, all. We do, of course, arpeggios, but not so much on the electric bass. Tremolo, like this. And of course, you can do that on the electric bass too, and you get a lot of speed, or you can just use it as a tremolo. And so it's hard to get it smooth again. Keep everything loose and scratch. Keep everything loose. Like that. Now, there are certain, because unless you use a pick, if you're using your fingers on the bass, which is of course I do, there's certain techniques which are really good, and I've demonstrated on the acoustic steel string a couple of times. But here's one that you can do. This is one I use for the nylon string, and of course this is called picado in flamenco, and of course with the electric bass normally you use the first and second finger. Use your index and middle fingers, picado. Now, using the flamenco techniques, of course when you get on the bass it just strengthens your technique, but here's one. I'm going to do it really, really slowly, and then I'll bring it up to a little more speed. We start here. Watch very carefully. timing. This is good because you're strengthening. Most people have a pretty strong index and middle finger, and a lot of the power is in these fingers here. But what you're doing here, you're using the middle, ring, and pinky. If you notice, this builds up this part of the hand. Like that. Don't just start right in playing fast. What I like to do is do the whole range of motion, the whole range of speed. With this, for instance, you're doing this. Concentrate on the tone. If you start off too fast, you might be able to do it, you might mess up. That's not recommended. So start off slow, watch the tone, watch the timing. So these are some of the techniques that you can apply to the electric bass. Again, I had some people ask me about that, like, what are you doing? What are these strumming techniques? Again, you know, rasgueado. You can do that on the electric bass. Again, you can use all the fingers. And a lot of that is just flash. The rhythm on the bass, holding down the strings, create a rhythm instrument. Get into some more advanced stuff, which is this, and this is used in flamenco. I mean, this is kind of involved, but you can do that on the bass. So the drummer's doing his thing, you're doing your thing, like that. And the tremolo, of course, like I said, with the tremolo you get a lot of speed on the bass. You can go, you know. And the laddering techniques. You can also do things like this, again, building up this part of the hand. You can do this on the bass, piccato, first and second. Always, always alternate. Watching the tone. Techniques that I'm demonstrating on the flamenco guitar that you can use on the electric bass, and again later on I will demonstrate these on the electric bass. But they're really interesting, they're flashy, I guess, some of them are useful. The piccato, of course, you know, as you can see with the electric bass, unless you play with a pick, you want to build up the technique here. You want to build up strength and flexibility. So until we see each other again, I hope this was useful.